Hi, I'm Chivas Davis, the owner and the creative director of Paint with Faith. We're so excited to have this virtual experience with you. Here at Paint with Faith, we are a motivational painting experience, and our goal is to get you motivated through art. We also believe that if you can complete this painting class on today, then what else could you achieve in your life? Your goals, your dreams, or your desires? What could you achieve with just some motivation, some guidance, and just some faith or belief in yourself? So we want to encourage you to paint with faith. Well, I think we said enough. Let's go ahead and get to painting.
Hi, I'm Chris. Everybody say hi, Chris. Our company is Paint with Faith. We are a motivational painting company. We believe there are no mistakes in art, just room for opportunity. So there will be no mistakes. We believe you can do all things, and we want you to believe that you can do all things too. I need you to repeat after me. If I believe, I can achieve. Say it louder. If I believe, I can achieve. This right here is called a canvas, not a canvas. You can do it. Snap your fingers for pure positive energy. If you think a negative thought, if somebody says something negative to you, just snap out the negativity. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be painting an elephant. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take yellow, a little bit of yellow, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a simple D. Now I'm kind of doing it a bit bigger because I want it to have that thick effect on it, but you don't have to do it as thick. You can use the side of your brush to create it, but all you're gonna do is kind of like it's gonna be similar to a teapot, and you'll see what I mean when I say that. But we're gonna create a small little D right up here, and now dip your brush a little bit, and we're gonna create just a little, it's kind of, you can think of it as a handle, but it's the trunk of the elephant, right? So you're gonna go, it's kind of like a C. You go in this motion, go up, and then from here, what you want to do is you want to kind of just a tiny bit of a line here, as you can see right here, and we're gonna paint it down. And here's the thing: when it comes to the trunk, you want to go from narrow to broad. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go here, and you're gonna go out a bit more, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. And as you can see, from here to here, it's a broader space. So dip your paintbrush a little bit more, and I'm gonna start from here, but you can also continue from where you left off. And you're gonna connect the lines until you have this. So to me, it kind of reminds me of a teapot. And now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna, from right here, you want to bring down this line so that you have a leg. And this is what you should have right now. You don't have to, it doesn't have to look exactly like this. Remember, there are no mistakes in art. This is just how I chose to do it. You can do a thin line, you can do a thick line, it's up to you. This is your creation, your art piece, you are the creator, remember that. And so this is what you should have. You know, an elephant to me reminds me of just living in peace, if that makes sense. Because I feel like during these times, especially with how the world is acting, it's kind of hard to understand and to really get a vivid picture of what peace and serenity looks like. And I think an elephant really represents that, honestly, because when it comes to, if you ever seen an elephant, or have you ever watched the Discovery Channel or anything, where an elephant is displayed on, you can see it in its natural habitat. What you see is it's very calm. It doesn't really, as opposed to like a tiger or a lion. When you think of those animals and those creatures, what you usually think about is a vicious creature who will basically eat you if you ever come into contact with it. But with the elephant, it's more of like a happy feeling. You feel very, I wouldn't say calm, but you feel excited more so to see it. And maybe some of you out there really liked lions and you would not mind being right in front of one. I wouldn't, just my personal preference. But when I think of elephants, I think of happiness, and I think of really just enjoying time. And I feel like that should be something that everyone should be that feeling, that sensation that you feel every time you think of an elephant, the calm happy feeling, is something that you should be striving for every day. That sensation is seriously something that is hard to reenact, because of course there's a lot of issues that go on today. But please remember that you are in control of your happiness. Do never let anyone or anybody tell you can't be happy, okay? It's always up to you. It's up to you to decide if you let somebody into your life that's going to negatively affect you and negatively move you to a position where you don't want to do anything, you don't want to pursue your dreams, you don't want to do anything, because at the end of the day, this is your life. You're, like I always say this, you're the artist. You create what you want. Your life is going to be your masterpiece. If you decide how it's going to look, and if you feel like letting somebody in and letting them negatively affect you, then that's not going to end up well for you, and that's going to really mess up that art piece, that final art piece that you'll have in the future. And to get back to the painting, as you can see, as I've been doing this, it doesn't look all over the place, right? But if you were to be doing vertical stripes and then X's, then it won't look the same. And make sure, one other thing, when it comes to the painting, make sure that you're always filling in as much negative space as possible, because that's negative space, meaning the white spot. So you don't want to see any white spots in your painting, because you want every space to be filled. That's the goal when it comes to a painting, right? So when you're painting, you want to also make sure, like I said, to fill in the negative space. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fill in all those white spots we had, right? So we're going to make sure, don't paint inwards, paint outwards. So what you want to do is you want to bring that yellow and paint it here, right? Like so. And we're going to do that all around. If you need to dip your paintbrush once again, you can. But to get back onto that topic that I was talking about, which was happiness in life, I think everyone, also, once again, make sure you look at what I'm doing. I'm painting outwards always. But to switch back, like I said, I think everyone is always trying to pursue happiness. And like I said before, your life is a canvas, so paint it with faith. You have to make sure you have to always keep faith. That's a key thing when it comes to life and when it comes to finding happiness. Pursue what you want. Don't let anyone talk to you and tell you that you can't pursue what you want, no matter how old you are. You can be 10 years old, you can be 60, 70, 80. It doesn't matter what age you are. If something makes you happy, then do it. Don't act like you can't because somebody told you. They don't have any effect on what you make out of your life. That's all up to you, because like I keep saying, you are the artist at the end of the day. Just like how you're making this painting right now, yes, I'm showing you the ropes, but you can consider this, if you want to put this in real life terms, it's just like having a mentor. You always want to have a mentor to show you what he did, so you move away from the mistakes. But at the end of the day, you are the one who is going to create whatever you want, and you have to take what you see and what you learn and apply it to your own knowledge and grow on it, and always evolve and kind of innovate upon what has already been invented or what has already been spoken. It's always a process when it comes to finding what makes you happy. and it's been a very long journey for myself, and I still have a long way to go. It's almost a never-ending journey. But once you find that thing, and also as you saw, what I did was I was doing vertical lines, but I'm also trying to kind of curve it so that it doesn't look too crazy in terms of, and to me at least, so it kind of flows like I said before. But like I said, it's more. Let's to switch back to what I was saying. It's a very long and lengthy process, but I feel like once you're able to reach that the end of the journey where you find what makes you happy, I feel like what makes it more satisfying is the fact that you worked hard to find whatever it is that made you happy, and you had faith. That's, like I said before, that faith is what's gonna guide you. It's a guiding factor in your life, no matter what it is you want to pursue, and that is just a thing that should stay with you for the rest of your life. It's that faith that allows people to quit their jobs to pursue a career that might not be so financially supportive, or it's that faith that allows you to quit school because you want to do something better and you feel like school isn't for you. But to get back to the painting, this is what you should have now. You should have your background painted, and you should have this space for the elephant cleared out. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this white, we're gonna put it to the side. We're gonna take this black, scoop a little bit out, put it to the side, right? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix this until you get what you should have is a gray. It's a nice, clean looking gray, right? And with that gray, what you're gonna do is you're gonna fill in the elephant. And if you don't like that gray, if you want to make it a bit lighter, you can always add a bit more white to it to make it lighter. Or if you want to make it a bit darker, you can put just a tad bit of black into it to make it darker. But I like this gray, so I'm going to use this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fill in the gray. And as you saw earlier, I was doing a horizontal motion. Now I'm just going to do a vertical. Like I said, it's all up to you what you want to do with your painting, but I choose to do a vertical motion, but make sure you're consistent with it. Like if you get a little bit more gray, if you go all over the place, then your painting won't look so cohesive. And that's kind of, if that's what your style is, because like I've said this before, like people, once you start painting, you'll start to figure out what your style is, and everybody has their own style. And that doesn't even just apply to art, that applies to everything, especially fashion. Everyone has their own style, and everyone's personality shines through what they do, if that makes sense. So if you have a painting that you're doing and you like a certain aspect of it and somebody else doesn't, that doesn't stop you from still doing it, because it's your painting. It's what you like. It's not what anybody else likes. It's what makes you happy. And so once again, you have that happy term, because everything in life is about what makes you happy. I feel like we get lost in it's all about experimentation when it comes to art and figuring out what you want to do and the things that you enjoy when it comes to art. I don't want any of you to ever feel like art is something you have to do, because I don't want it to feel like a burden. It should never feel like a burden. Also, just to add a note, we're gonna actually paint through this yellow line that we created. Don't worry if you go out of the line. There's always room to improve on it, and like I said, there are no mistakes in art. If you make a mistake, once again, there is no mistake, so it's impossible. All you have to do is learn. You get to kind of see what you like and see what you want to change, because you never know. You might make a wrong stroke, but you might be like, okay, I like how this looks, let me keep that. And that's okay. It's all up to you. You're the creator of your art piece, right? So we're going to continue to color in this gray into this elephant, right? Usually we get the sides, we get all sides of the art piece, but right now I want to focus on getting, and we're also gonna paint through this yellow line. So you can always flip the brush over if you feel like you're running low on paint, so you can get all the good paint out. You don't want to waste any drops of paint because, you know, painting, you want to make sure you savor as much paint as you possibly can. So you're gonna mix a bit more, get a little bit of white, get a little bit of white, and now we're gonna continue to paint. And as you get up to the narrow part, you might want to transition your strokes to the thin part of the brush. So you're gonna kind of, instead of using that flat big part where you're doing that, because it's such a small space, you might want to kind of transition into more of a thin brush pattern. Let me see if I can get closer so you can see it as I mix a bit more. Add a bit more black. Like I said, if you don't like the gray that you have, you can always change it up to what you like. So what I'm gonna come back in with that gray. It's a bit lighter than the rest, but I can always make it darker because, like I said, you can always change it if you don't like it, right? So let's go here. Let's go here. We're gonna get this corner right here. Finish that up. Right here. Make sure you get all your negative spaces. Try and get everything out. And if you don't like the way the elephant's head looks, you can always reshape it with the gray. So let's right here. And now try and get as much of that white out. You don't want to have any white at all. So now let's remember to kind of try and use the edge of kind of try and put the tips on the white spot so that you're then using. So here I see a little bit of whiteness. Let's bring it down here. And let's cover this little white spot I see. And now let's get this part of the elephant. Just like that. I'm gonna finish off this leg first of all and get this done. And then from there, once we finish this leg, we're gonna go back into the elephant, right? And we're gonna just paint the entire elephant once again to give it a second coat. All right. So as you finish up the elephant, what we're gonna do is you should try and get every negative space that you see out of this brush. We're gonna mix again, all right? And let's finish off the elephant with a nice, clean looking elephant. Remember, use the wetness of the paint that's already on the brush. On the canvas, so you're able to. You don't have to keep going back in and remixing and kind of doing it again. But right now, it's what you should see as your elephant. Yeah. All right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the water coming out of the trunk of the elephant. So we're gonna get some blue. And if you know how to flatten, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the brush and you're gonna, on your palette, you're gonna kind of, if you have, you gotta find space first of all, and once you find the space, you're gonna kind of drag the brush on both sides to make sure it's flat like this. And then what we're gonna do, I'm gonna use the thin part of the brush, and I'm gonna kind of do some outward stroke on there. So we're gonna do outward strokes. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Let's get some more. Use this paint that's already here. So I'm gonna get some more blue. I want to make sure it's, you kind of see it coming out. Make sure you're doing outer. You want to do strokes that are going out, not in. So let's continue. So just a bit, a tad more blue. Make sure we get in there. And let's go out. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna get a little bit of white, and we're gonna put on the tips, and we're gonna do that. Continue with the white. Just remember to do the outward strokes. And once you have that, remember, if you have to take your time with it, remember, you can always pause the video, you can always stop the video and just catch up on your own. And then, remember, I'm doing inward strokes. Am I supposed to do that? I'm supposed to do outward. So, let's do outward. And now, I like how that looks, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna clean the brush. So we're gonna get the brush, you're gonna get the brush and we're gonna get some black. Once you clean it, and we're gonna flatten it while dragging it on your palette. And then we're gonna do a simple J going down into the right here. As you can see, it's a simple J. That's all I'm gonna do. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna give it an eye. So we don't want to put it right here. So you're gonna do a U shape. So what you're gonna do is gonna go down and up. Okay, just like that. And if you want to give it some eyelashes, you can. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there you go with your elephant. So pop quiz. What does every artist need to be successful as an artist? Y'all wait and give you some time to think about it. A signature, right? So for everyone, I want you guys to go to the bottom right. So on the bottom, I'm gonna write my signature. There you go. It's my signature, and that's how you do an elephant. I want to thank you guys once again for being with me, and painting with me was very fun, and I can look forward to seeing you guys in the next classes. Thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your class on today with one of our artists. Well, remember, your life is a canvas, paint with faith. Make sure you go to paintwithfaith.com and find us at our social media sites at Paint with Faith. Again, thanks again for painting with faith.